Ladies and gentlemen, we're in trouble. Anime itself is in trouble. There is just too much damn stuff coming out, and too much of it cannot be missed. The summer 2025 anime season is mere weeks away, and with it, over 70 anime titles, 18 of which are beloved returners, and a massive amount of them are the most anticipated new properties. Suffice to say, anime fans are... This is literally the season where so many great anime titles will come to die. We have Cloverworks locking down the season with 3 bangers, more hot modding cosplay action, more Rascal Does Not Dream of Button Noses, and a Kebi Sailor uniform is back. Well, not really, but it's the same team though, and just without the Yuri and no feet fetishes. We got Fire Force sequel, Garbage Force, Parasite the Maxim meets Nanan Biori. Who's ready for trauma? I sure am. Reincarnated as a Squirtle. Onimai, I'm now a minor. Yuru Camp, Grandpa Arc. Another season of people trying to convince us that Rent-A-Girlfriend is entertaining. This OP girl is a hot mess, and I love it. New Monster Hunter anime. Here's Kitty. This syscon's is about to collapse. Falling to your death? Naturally, strike a dance pose. From the creator of I Summoned a Succubus and My Stepmom Appeared, comes a new series called Married Women's Lips. Tastes like canned chuhai? This guy's harem wants him dead. I get another season of wanting Nazuna to bite me. Don't judge me. Kicked out of the hero's party, I cooked for my daughteru. More waifu and jackets and donkey trauma. Moe bowling. Kentucky Fried Gyaru. An eternal virgin is sent to a island. How many women and children will Naofumi buy this season? Moi moi kyun okurun. Wait, is this Dead Man Wonderland? After 15 years, Panty and Stocking returns. Isekai'd as an OP villain. Nishisho fans rejoice, KyoAni is back. This girl is a total bad girl. Just look at her paperclip earrings. And finally, yes, we are getting the return of Shota Thighs. Joke reel aside, I've come through all the offerings and come up with my most anticipated returning series as well as new series to keep an eye out for. So sit down, relax, get your list ready, and enjoy the show. Let's kick things off with the returners. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, we have 18 returning titles, most of which I am extremely excited for. The first one on that list, yes, Call the Night second season. I absolutely love Call the Night. The first season was just a very beautifully portrayed show. One of the main things there being the fact that the studio and the people working on it really did know how to capture that nightlife. That just the backdrops, the coloring, everything just really oozed that feel. Me personally having quite a bit of my life where I spent, on the nightlife, it really captured it. It had that warmth and coloring and whatnot that I just kind of just had a nostalgic feel for. But yes, on top of that is the story of our main character, who, again, is a shut-in, and at some point just finds himself running out in the middle of the night and just enjoying the nightlife. And at some point, yes, coming across Nazuna. Nazuna, one of my favorite vampire characters of all time. I just adore this character. She's a dork, and there's just so much to really kind of unravel with the story so far. One of the main key things that I did love about the series as well is the way that it told stories. I think one of the great things that I sort of kind of came to a conclusion on is that this writer knows how to make simple but impactful stories. Stories that most people will go, oh, that's really simple, or hey, that could be really easily resolved if you just do this. But there are stories that are impactful to the character themselves. Even though most people on the outside say it's easy to resolve, it's not easy for them. It's a difficulty they're facing, and that impact they really did execute on was something that just had me in love with the series, and I cannot wait for more. And yes, I want more Nazuna. For my next one, yes, Toilet Bound Hanako-kun Season 2, Part 2. I absolutely love this series so much. It's one of those series that whenever somebody asks me for like a phenomenal series, it rarely does come to mind, but when I do actually look back at this show, there's a lot of it that I just absolutely adore. And yes, Season 2 has just been taking off of the series. I have fell in love with the series all over again with the second season. Things are starting to really ramp up. They're getting into all these characters. Yes, even our main character has some, struggles that they've done reveals for in the last season. And I'm just really curious to see what direction they end up taking it. It's just got a phenomenal cast of characters. The art style is just truly chef kiss. I love the style and the character designs themselves. And yes, I've always loved this sort of, yes, while everything kind of looks bubbly and fun, every now and then the writer just comes out of nowhere and just kind of punches you in the gut and say, oh yeah, just a reminder, you shouldn't trust these characters. Like there's always like this looming threat that's there, and every now and then that comes to surface, and then suddenly you realize, oh, that's right. This character is a killer, and this is a really dangerous situation. I love those realization points that really do kind of keep you on the edge of your seat. Yeah, really love the series and totally looking forward to the next part. Cute waifus with guns and poofy jackets. Yes, Arknights Rise from Ember. My gosh, I am extremely excited for this series to return. For a while there, we were getting like once every single year, but it looks like they need to take a little bit more time to cook this next season, and I could not be more excited. Talala is looking to be sort of the main focus of this next arc that's coming up, and I'm really intrigued to kind of see how this writer handles showing the other side of the battlefield. There's always that kind of question mark for a lot of creators whenever they do create two different sides of conflict, and at some point go, okay, now let's see why the bad guy's doing what they're doing. Can they really nail that stuff? So far, based on the previews, I can sort of make speculations, but I am a massive, massive fan of Arknights, the animated series. Even though I can't really get into the game, I've tried several times. They've got me sold on the anime, and the directing has been phenomenal for the series so far, and I cannot wait to see what they do with this one. Yes, of course, I am extremely excited for Dandadan to come back. I absolutely loved covering this series for the first season. There was a lot of fun and crazy shenanigans with that series. It's just got some phenomenal characters, a great romance that's blooming up. Like, I cannot believe how well they're actually executing on the romance of these two characters. Just two opposite ends of the culture, and then at some point just kind of coming together in the middle for one common thing. And it's just been bonkers. It's been bonkers. The animation's bonkers. Science Saru has been doing a phenomenal job with it, and I cannot wait for more. Yes, of course, I am extremely anticipating the return of My Dress Up Darling's second season. It just feels like it's been forever since the first season of this show. It was a phenomenon back when it came out. Everybody was just bonkers for it. And yes, I was on board with everybody else. Just, yeah, let's admit it. Chef Kiss Marin, Chef Kiss Kitagawa, and her cosplay stuff. She's everything the otaku wants. She is the hot girl that likes to cosplay. She's an otaku herself. Everything that just kind of fits the mold. And it's kind of great that the fact that, yes, this show itself doesn't technically do anything inherently new than what rom-coms do. But as I've told a lot of people, it's sort of one of those shows that does a lot of what other things do, but essentially does it perfect. It's one of those things where, yes, it's borrowing from a lot of other creators and a lot of different other storytelling and a lot of different tropes, but the way that it does it is beautiful. It does it in a way that nobody else has been able to do before, and that's what really does set it aside from everything else. And yes, she's hot. Yes, I'm also still excited for Kaiju number 8 to come back. I did enjoy the first season. While it's not a show that was like blowing me away, I do like its different take on the whole power fantasy, superpower characters and whatnot. Just this one being some old fart. It's your typical shonen where they get superpowers and they have to fight the bad guy, and they're technically sort of the breed that's equal to the enemy itself, but at the same time, yes, he's an old fart and he just wants to get his job done and go home. I am looking forward to the next season. Hopefully it turns out well, but we'll see. Yes, even though I haven't been the biggest fan of Shield Hero, I am looking forward to the fourth season. I do feel that the third season was sort of a nice kind of return to form for this series. I was actually somewhat getting invested in the show again with its third season. So I'm really hoping that the fourth season does deliver on it. We, of course, have this whole situation with Tratilia and, her origin place. He apparently is going there. So hopefully that stuff turns out to be good. I don't know. We'll see. I am interested in watching Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. Now, I do have to admit, I have a movie to watch. I have to watch some movies. But I hopefully will be able to get caught up, and so I can actually watch this show. I really did like the original series of Rascal Does Not Dream, so hopefully I can get caught up. I'll be able to experience that with everybody else, but we'll see. Same thing with Panty and Stocking. I want to be hyped with everybody else. I've never gotten into the Panty and Stocking series. It has always been sort of a humor. It's never really kind of drawn me, but we'll see. We'll see if hopefully I can get to watching the original series, and then if I enjoy it, I'll watch the new season. But I'm really excited for fans of this series because, again, it's been technically like 15 years since the original series came out. Rent a Girlfriend, it's coming. I don't think I'll watch it. I said that about third season. I watched the third season. I don't think I'm going to watch the fourth season. Sakamoto Days is also kind of a big question mark for me. I wasn't really too drawn to the first season. I did enjoy it early on, but I kind of started cooling down the show. I might still watch it, but we'll see. And that's it. That's all the returners that I want to note. There's Puniru is a Kawaii Slime, a couple of Cuckoos, and Dr. Stone. I probably will watch most of those shows, but as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of shows coming out next season, so it's going to be very difficult to even kind of fit in certain shows that I'm sort of cool on. But truth be told, the returning shows, most people know what they're going to be watching. They've watched the first seasons, and they're excited for the next season. Most people here are probably curious as, Andrew, what are the new shows coming out that I need to be looking out for? And like I said before, I combed through all 70 shows. I figured out the best of the best. So let's just kick things off in no particular order. But yes, the first one we have is The Summer Hikaru Died. This show, my gosh, the PV looks incredible. Yeah, I get a vibe of something like Parasite the Maxim, the idea of some sort of parasite infesting people, taking them over. And at the same time, I could say Nanambiori or Summertime Render type of vibe, just kind of the setting itself, more like a rural area. But the synopsis for this series is two best friends living together in a rural Japanese village, Yoshiki and Hikaru. Growing up together, they were inseparable, until the day that Hikaru came back from the mountains and was no longer himself. Something has taken over Hikaru's body. Memory, feelings, and everything they know begins to unravel. Now, this is a decent setup, but honestly, the PV sold me so much more because it does give a sense here where it's almost as if the thing that has taken over Hikaru's body either has grown attached to the main character or possibly they are living the memories of the one that they overtook. That's the big question mark there. It does seem like there's a sense that this infested person doesn't want to be separated, doesn't want to be exposed because they don't want to harm the other person. And that's where we get into some of the stuff that I'm very curious how that'll be portrayed. Now, I could be completely off base. Again, I'm going based on the PV, but that's the sense that I'm getting. And again, add on that, Cygames Pictures working on this show. It looks so freaking gorgeous. It looks like it's got plenty of emotion in there. The way it's portraying the characters and their emotion, the music, the sound effect, everything, the setting, I'm on board. It gives me very much a psychological thriller, rural area type of thing, similar to something like Higurashi When They Cry. Stuff like that, me personally, I eat up. And so I'm extremely excited for this summer Hikaru died. Moving on to the absolutely cutest, dorky, OP witch I've ever seen before. Secrets of the Silent Witch. Yes, when I seen the PV for the show, I was immediately sold. I'm like, I'm clocked in, I'm ready to go, sign me up. I don't even need anything else. I don't even need a synopsis. I am good, I'm on board. This girl looks like a total dork, and I love her death already. Monica Everett, the Silent Witch, is the world's only practitioner of voiceless magic, a veritable heroine who single-handedly fended off the Black Dragon of legend. However, the young prodigy is actually super duper shy. I got that impression from the PV. Yep, turns out she only learned voiceless magic to avoid speaking in public. Again, I've never read anything else on this show. I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. Ignorant of this, the Seven Sages have placed her on the top secret mission to guard the second prince. Can Monica keep it together as she contends with both social interaction and evils targeting the young royal? Even more so I'm sold. Like I said, I've already loved the visuals. My gosh, can we talk about the visuals? It's just like Hikaru dies. Like, visually, this show looks so phenomenal. Like, this is one of those cases where when I watched the PV, I thought that it was a pilot film. I thought it was like, yeah, like an advertisement for the source material and not necessarily what's going to be the finished product of the show. Now, let's be honest. A lot of PVs are like the special cuts of the best shots of a show. This looks incredible. If they can have this quality for the finished good, we're good. This is like Anime of the Year title, contender right here. And again, add on the fact that just the interaction of the character, how dorky she looks. She's just always flustered. She's adorable as hell. Like everything just, again, I can't wait. Secrets of the Silent Witch up there is one of my most anticipated. If you ask any longtime anime fan, hey, what do we need more of? Every single one of them should answer a sequel to High School of the Dead. One of the most beloved and just bonkers shows ever that, unfortunately, because of the passing of the mangaka, I don't think we'll ever get a sequel of. While it's not High School of the Dead, we do sort of have something that looks just as bonker and sort of is related to zombies. Replacing crazy boob physics and lots of with, yes, pussycats. Nyaight of Living Cat. Yes, this show is coming out next season, and from the first PVs that I watched this show, I already knew, one, okay, gross CGI, but two, this looks totally dorky, and I'm going to ignore the fact that it has UGG CGI. In the near future, a unique disease has swept across the planet, a virus that transforms humans into cats, and the horde is expanding. Since if these adorable kitties snuggle with the human is transformed into yet another cat. A small group of cat-loving survivors is trying to escape the madness, but how can you defend yourself against a threat that you just want to cuddle and pet? The wild new take on a post-apocalyptic survival tale will make you roll over and purr with delight. It looks dorky. It looks absolutely dorky. Yeah, just hordes of cats running after people. Some people fighting with, like, toys that cats would typically enjoy, which you get kind of that little sense of, like, again, the High School of the Dead, crazy physics, people jumping around and stuff like that. It looks totally dorky. Now, I will say, again, along with the whole aspect of the CGI cat thing, I'm not expecting the show to look fantastic. I really am hoping that a lot of what's going to be enjoyable about the show is just, again, how absurd it is. I haven't checked out the source material, and I probably should have, just to see if it has 4 legs, if it has legs to really kind of work with, but it looks dorky. It looks like it'd be a lot of fun. I'm not a big cat person. I've always, mostly my entire life, been a, family has had dogs, but I've always liked the idea of cats. I think I would survive in this whole thing. For those who don't know, I was a massive, massive, massive fan of Cloverworks' Akebi Sailor Uniform. That show was just through and through super wholesome, beautiful, and just great down-to-earth portrayal of girls just being goofy and hanging out and doing stuff. And while we still have not got a sequel of that, I was really happy to see the fragrant flower blooms with dignity. Mainly on the idea that once I seen the PV for the show, knew that was from Cloverworks, I immediately had vibes of Akebi Sailor Uniform. And again, that's mainly because a lot of the team that worked on that show is working on this show, which does give me a lot of hope for the overall storytelling of Fragrant Flower Blooms. It's mainly the idea that they're going to have that attention to detail that I think is kind of necessary, that tells stories even above and beyond what the original source material does. But that aside, putting aside Akebi Sailor Uniform, I am really excited for this show just based on what they've kind of shown us so far. Chidori High is a boys' school that takes in the dregs of society with the lowest grades. Next door stands Kikyo Girls High, where the wealthy, high-class families send their precious daughters. Chidori's second year, Rintaro, who has a fierce face but a gentle heart, is helping at his family's pastry shop when he meets a girl named Karuko. The two of them hit off right away, but this blissful peace is quickly disturbed when Rintaro discovers that Karuko is actually a student at Kikyo. Worse, she doesn't realize what a huge problem it really is. Will these two be able to forge a path themselves and sidestep the traps, metaphorically and literally, laid by their classmates? Kind of seems like a very basic idea there, but I really do kind of like that basic setup to kind of build into the characters themselves. The two of them so far together look really cute. It does give a lot of sense of that in the PV, that Karuko herself doesn't seem to care what a lot of people care about. No, he's from the dregs of society. He's with the bad kids school. And she just doesn't seem to care. No, I enjoy this time together over here. You're a good person. You're not the sum of what everybody else is around you. That whole thing going in there. And yes, there's a really cute kind of contrast between the two characters. She's very, very short. He's very, very tall. He seems like a good kid. All that stuff seems to be kind of signing up me for kind of a really beautiful and very romantic ride that I'm hoping really does pan out. But we'll see. All right, folks. You ready for trauma? You ready for trauma? Are you ready for some gut punches? This next one, I honestly would recommend go into it as blind as possible. Look at as few things as possible of it. Even for this video, if you want to skip forward to the next show, that's perfectly fine. If you want to just ignore what's on the screen right here, all the screenshots I got, ignore them. This is a show that I think is just one of those ones you have to experience for yourself. Takopi's Original Sin. It was a series that when I first seen that it was getting an adaptation, I immediately was drawn to the art itself, and so I decided to start reading the manga. And while I didn't finish it, I got to the first big gut punch. There was one really big first initial gut punch, like something happened. For those that know. And at that point, I closed it. I'm like, no, I'm gonna wait for the show. I'm gonna wait for the show. It does look like the show is going to be very short. It looks like it's only running for 6 episodes, and it is technically starting like a week before the season begins. So it will probably wrapped up pretty quickly, like within the first month of the season. But it's definitely one that, again, based on what I have read so far, I can already say this is going to be a must watch for a lot of people, and I'm already on board with it. And yes, it's just one of those ones where the PVs themselves are showing, they're already showing what I seen. Like that gut punch that I seen, that big moment, they're already showing that. So if you can, avoid the PVs. And again, go into it as blind as possible. The synopsis is Takopi travels from his home of a happy planet to spread happiness across Earth, but meets an unsmiling Shizuka upon landing. Her friends at school and home life seem to be the source of her somber expression, and the pure-hearted Takopi is determined to change things for the better. What truths await him when the curtain rises in this shocking drama? Again, I'm not going to say anything more. That's it. The synopsis, I think, is actually a really good start. That's all you need to know. But yes, I'm super excited for it. Cannot wait for it. Totally going to be covering it on this channel. So if you're going to be watching the series and you want to get my impression along with it, definitely stick around. For my next show, I do have to admit, there's a lot of the reason why I want to watch this show is just based on the title alone. It's admittedly has a very catching title. Watari-kun's is about to collapse. Yes, the title that makes you go, wait, what is the thing that's bleeped out? What exactly is collapsing? Is it down there? Is it something else? His heart? What is it? Naoto Watari lives solely for his little sister, Suzushiro, until his chaotic childhood friend, Satsuki, storms back into his life. Without uttering a single word, her very presence ignites buried memories and unravels his rigid routine. As tensions rise and secrets surface, Naoto's devotion to Shizuhiro clashes with unresolved pain, threatening to collapse his fragile world. Can you be any more enticing and intriguing with a synopsis and a title like that? This is one of those shows that honestly, I'm going based on the synopsis. I'm going based on a little bit of what I'm gathering from the PV, and yes, that title, and it's got me extremely intrigued. And I'm hoping and begging that my expectations doesn't get completely exploded by the time I watch the first few episodes. It does have listed comedy, drama, romance, slice of life, so nothing in there is like psychological or thriller based, so I'm not expecting anything like that. But I'm really hoping that at least the unresolved pain and all that kind of stuff, the clashing and the dismantling of his normal routine is going to be something that's going to be interesting and not simply just this girl's going to bug him a lot. And then romance happens. We'll see though. Fans of Onimai rejoice. Yes, unfortunately, we're not getting a sequel to Onimai, and I've pretty much at this point convinced myself we're never going to get a sequel to Onimai. Rejoice, though, because the team themselves is back for Introduction to Mineralogy. Yes, a show about rocks. But that's okay. This is definitely a show that when I seen the PVs for it, I immediately got vibes of Onimai. And that's a good thing because for me personally, I absolutely loved Onimai. I thought it was extremely wholesome. The animation was just absolutely amazing. And it, again, took the source material and took it to a whole nother level. What they did with that and what they sort of added to it was incredible. And I'm sort of hoping the same for Rock's show, a show about rocks. Ruri, a high school girl who loves jewelry and accessories, gets into the world of mineral collecting, venturing into the mountains, rivers, and caves, an authentic scientific adventure based on the author's solid knowledge of mineralogy. So yeah, it does seem like this author is apparently just a mineralogy nerd. And they kind of wanted to express that with cute characters and a story. But that's really, again, sort of where I'm kind of mixed on the whole thing. Is on one end, it's like, is it going to be too nerdy into mineralogy and you're not going to really care unless you like that? Or is the writer really good at sort of kind of mixing in the elements of slice of life and the characters actually having build and them learning things? It does seem like there's sort of a character in the series that is sort of the one that knows everything they're doing, and they're sort of showing a new person all the ropes. And if they can have some good exchange between them, some fun time together, and again, some really fun and crazy studio bind action with the animation, I'm hoping it's going to be good. But again, this is one of those ones where I'm like I'm cautiously excited about it. But next one, wait for it. Let's go. Let's go. I am a massive fan of Nishisho. It is one of my top 10 anime of all time, and probably, if not the best comedy of all time. Yes, as usual, comedy is subjective, but for me personally, it is my favorite comedy of all time. Well, both the creator of the original source material of Nishisho and the animators at Kyoto Animation are back for a new series, City the Animation, and I could not be more excited. This town is not a normal town. There's laughter, love, and emotional moments. An unpredictable, ordinary life presented by the residents. Exciting stuff come one after another. Welcome to City. That synopsis sucks. But hey, how do you make a synopsis for a lot of what this creator creates? For those that didn't watch Nishisho, it is definitely one of those series where it's sort of like the mundane life of people in this one city, but every now and then having like the over-exaggerated happenings amongst them. Just yes, like a character dropping food and trying to catch it. Something that seems like very mundane and dumb, but doing it in a way that's really, really entertaining. But there's also a lot of like mixture of different weird oddities about it too. Like yes, they have this one lolly that is like this scientific expert that has created an android. The android has like the most odd attachments about their arms and whatnot. There's just all these really goofy moments, and the comedy has always been just absolutely laugh out loud. It is one of the most like clippable shows ever that even to this day I'll go on YouTube and just look for random Nishisho clips. I'm hoping the same thing will happen with City the Animation, with the same creator doing another city full of a bunch of people just doing odd things. I'm hoping it will live up to that expectation, but we'll see, but I'm completely on board. I'm extremely excited, if not for anything, just to see Kyoto Animation do just incredible animation with very simple designs. Okay, this next one. I cold watched the trailer for this show, and I immediately thought, what the did I just watch? What did I just watch? I could have sworn I seen a hentai about this show. Think an island that is pretty much the opposite of the world of Shimoneta, where pretty much the lack of lewd is illegal. The lack of doing H stuff is illegal. A literal island. and possible future for many civilizations facing crisis of population. Nukitashi the Animation. This show, it's probably going to be a hot, censored mess, but I'm on board. The Island of Everlasting Summer, Seiren Island. Junosuke Tachibana, who was born on this island, returns with his younger sister, Asane Tachibana, after the death of their parents. However, Seiren Island has become a place of madness due to the implementation of a perverted law. A law designed to combat population decline. The law permits and even encourages lewd sexual acts everywhere on the island, and refusal to engage in reproductive activities is punished almost as severely as a crime. Junosuke, a proud virgin and staunch defender of his virginity, questions the legitimacy of the law. Determined to protect both his and his beloved sister's purity, he forms the Anti-Copulation Front, NLNS, No Love, No Sex, and sets out to destroy the perverted law once and for all. I'll destroy the perverted law, he says. Like I said, it's pretty much like an opposite of Shimoneta. Shimoneta was like this story about a world with no like lewd jokes. This is literally the opposite. He wants to fight this world that just, you can't not be lewd. It just looks dorky. Now, again, there's sort of like one of those aspects where it's literally the synopsis of an H, but at the same time, you have like your typical harem protagonist who is like an eternal virgin. He will never touch any of these acts. But hopefully it's a fun show. Hopefully it's really hilarious around that thing. Yes, if you are the type that lewd stuff is a no-no for you, just based on the PV, you will see actions happening in the background. There is stuff happening. And again, there's a lot of stickers in the PV. I'm hoping that we at least get the uncensored version over here so we don't see a bunch of stickers all over the place. We'll see, though. Either way, we know how to get it. We know how to get it. Hey, Crunchyroll, High Dive, whoever picks it up, we know how to get it. But anyways, I'm intrigued by this show. I'm not going to expect much from this show, but just by the concept of it alone, it's already hilarious. Nukitashi the Animation. We'll see. Moving on from that to more wholesome, I have to admit, back when I seen the anime adaptation announcement for Cultured Exchange with a Game Center Girl, I immediately searched for a PV. And what I found was the PV for the manga, which the moment that I heard Nao Toyama, who was voicing the main character in that manga PV, say, "I'll make you love me," I was like, yes, I'm on board. She grabbed my heart. I want this now. Please adapt it. Let's see it. Give it to me already. But sadly, when they released the anime PV, yes, they swapped out who was voicing the main character. And I was immediately heartbroken. Granted, Amaki Sally, she's fine. The new say that they have for the main girl. But I just wish it was Nao Toyama because I adore Nao Toyama. But yes, Culture Exchange with a Game Center Girl. The story follows Renji, a young man who works part-time at a game center. One day, Renji encounters an English girl named Lily, and the two of them trade diaries and begin an unlikely friendship of cultural exchange. This show looks dorky. Yes, like it's kind of leading you to believe there is some foreigner girl that comes there. She sees a game center and she's immediately in love. She runs in there, starts playing games. He kind of helps her out. And then, yes, it kind of turns this whole kind of romantic thing that's building up where he's not sure she's saying what she thinks she's saying, but romance quickly blossoms between the two of them. And it's just, again, absolutely adorable, full of cute English and all that kind of stuff that I cannot wait for. And that's it. That is my top 10 most anticipated new shows of the summer 2025 anime seasons. I have tons of honorable mentions. See you tomorrow at the food court. Looks really fun. Kind of that has that whole idea of a Gyaru character and a more plain looking girl kind of coming together and hanging out with each other. It looks like it might be very kind of skip-based, food-based type of stuff, but we'll see. The characters look great and I'm looking forward to it. Gachiakuta. That show, yes, apparently it is. The mangaka used to be like an assistant to the creator of Fire Force. They're a massive like Soul Eater fan. That pretty much explains why this show looks very, very Fire Force. But it definitely has that kind of aesthetic to it. And I'm looking forward to the show. I have read a little bit of it and I'm just not completely sold on the story, but we'll see. It looks really, really good. It's being done by Bones Film, so it's definitely up there. It just kind of barely didn't make my top 10 list. Private Tutor to the Duke's Daughter. I was really excited for the show when I first heard the adaptation because the art style is just, it's chef kiss. I love the style of it and everything. But now that we've actually had the PVs come out for it, my expectations for it came down a lot. Like the style became very generic looking. It just doesn't look good. But I'm still excited for it. We'll see if it actually pans out to be a good story at least. I am excited for the stunned hero and the assassination princesses. This show looks like it could be either extremely funny or extremely repetitive. It's a show about like this OP main character who's being, followed around with by this harem of girls, and they all are there to kill him. Like I said before, he's extremely OP and he constantly saves their lives, but they're struggling with the fact that they need to kill him. Busamen Gachi Fighter, this show looks like it could be really great, but also, again, extremely repetitive. But the idea here is this guy, I believe, gives up, like, all of his beauty and all of his good looks because he was, like, betrayed by girls to gain powers in a new life. And so he's ridiculously powerful, but again, like I said earlier, he looks like an H villain character. Like, he's got the whole chubby thing going on. He's got the hair, the single hair that's sticking out from his chin. He's flicking boogers, and he's just, again, incredibly powerful. It looks goofy. It could be a lot of fun. Clevatess looks very interesting as well. It basically seems like this idea, the hero being reborn as a baby and is being taken care of by the Demon Lord or something like that. The PVs look okay. I'm just kind of cautiously excited for it. We'll see. And finally, Bad Girl looks really dorky. The idea about this girl trying to be really bad and doing all the stupid things that she thinks will look like a bad girl, but everybody else thinks she's extremely cute whenever she does it. It looks like a lot of fun. The PVs definitely had me sold on it. And that's it. I'm done. That's all the shows that I want to talk about. I will still, of course, be watching To Be Hero X. I'm still loving that show. And Shirley's fantastic. We'll still be watching that. Witch Watch is still continuing on. I think Sword of the Demon Hunter and Summer Pockets is going to be running for 2 core. If they do, I'm definitely going to be watching them as well. This next season is crazy, and I am extremely terrified of it. I think, again, like I've said several times before, I think the biggest travesty of how much we've just gone through is the fact that most everybody is not going to watch 99% of it. Everybody's going to probably have 1 or 2 shows they're going to watch. A lot of the diehard fans are going to watch maybe 5 shows, but overall, nobody is going to be watching all 70 plus of these damn shows, and that's heartbreaking. But at the end of the day, I think the positive thing here is just to kind of watch people, see what people are enjoying. You don't have to consume everything. Put some stuff down on a list for later on. Just keep it for a rainy day. Because when the anime industry crashes because of all this crap and none of it's selling, you can go back to this stuff. That's the positive side. But anyways, I hope you guys found this video informative. Hopefully you found a few shows to be checking out for the next season. If you are interested in any of these shows or anything else that I do, definitely subscribe to the channel so you can get all my content. I'll be doing first impressions of hopefully all of these shows in the coming season. I'll usually do like a 1 to 3 episode watch, give an idea of what the show is about, my experience with it, some screenshots and all that kind of stuff, so you can get an idea of if this stuff ends up panning out. But additionally, if you like this content and you want to support the channel more, I have links in the description below. I greatly appreciate it, but support the channel. It means a lot to me, and y'all take care.